Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. We're excited to be here again with you in IIU's session. Today's session is part of the start this. There we go. Now we are. Good morning, everyone. My name is Virginia Rivera, and I am so excited to be here with you in IIU. Today, we are still discussing, and we're still part of a 3-day free boot camp for entrepreneurs. On our first day, we discussed the basic steps or the steps that you need in order to open a business, what characteristics you need to be successful, and everything that had to be basic with entrepreneurship. Yesterday, we talked about branding and how important branding and having the correct brand and developing a brand that will represent your service or product is key. And today, we're going to talk about the third part of really developing a personal brand, creating authority, and most important, being relevant in your industry, your sector, your market, whatever it is that you decide and how you want to position your brand. So we're going to be talking today about book authorship. Book authorship and book publishing or publishing are very related, pretty similar, because once you write a publication, you start to become an authority in whatever area you're talking about. That's why it's so important that you do your research correctly. That is why it's so important that you're talking about something that you know. If you write about a topic that you don't know and you're invited to really explain or bring your book with you and you're not an expert in that area, people will see that and you will lose credibility. So it was really important for us to explain to you what a boot camp is, which is a session of 3 to 5 days, intensive, not necessarily an incubator, not really an accelerator, because that requires you to be involved in business and already open for 2 to 3 years. But it's something that's going to help you and propel you into either opening that business, getting organized, improving the business that you already have, or transitioning from professional or person with a job to a person that wants to have their own business. So today's part, and it's the last one in this trilogy, is really key, and it's so relevant today because everybody wants to write a book. And thanks to Amazon, writing a book is pretty easy. You write your book, you set it up on their format, it's all electronic. You can either sell it digitally like an ebook, or actually it could be sent or drop shipped to the customers or the client's house. So Amazon has made it very, very simple, but there's so many books. If you look at Amazon right now, you're going to see thousands and thousands and thousands of books. What makes your book stand out? It's not necessarily that you have the best selling, because that is something that you pay Amazon to put. So I would not really trust the best-selling book of the week or the month, because it's something that you pay for. Most importantly, that people will read your book and they'll talk about your book, or that they'll find it helpful, or more importantly, that it will give you the credibility that you need. So let's talk about now how to open this book. And while I'm getting my screen, I want to tell you a little bit about what IIU is. IIU is a virtual education platform. We're in 195 countries. Our base is in Australia, but we also have in India, the US, UK, Indonesia. Additional to this, we have an incredible founder. His name is Piyush Pandit, and I'm sure you already know him. Mr. Piyush Pandit is a serial entrepreneur, but additional to that, he's a change maker. He's a social worker. He's an educationist. He is definitely an attorney that advocates for human rights. So it makes it very easy to believe in our mission and vision when we know what our founder does. Our founder has written books, so please look him up in Amazon. But the most important thing that he wants to do is make sure that everybody has access to quality education, not just a degree at university where you have an old professor telling you things that are probably not even proven anymore, but you're actually having educators from around the world that work in the field, that are state of the art, they're upgraded, they're updated on everything that is going on. So that is why we're so excited to have you here with us today. Let me go ahead and share my screen so we can start our presentation. And like I said before, writing a book may have seemed very difficult before, but it's not that difficult anymore. The most important thing about writing a book is that you really have the skill set that you're promising that you can do, and that you're an expert in what you're promising that you're an expert in. So what is the power of book authorship for entrepreneurs and professionals? I am Virginia Rivera. I am talking to you from sunny Puerto Rico in the Caribbean. Puerto Rico is part of the United States, so maybe you may not know who we are, but if you look us up in the map, you'll see a tiny little dot in the Caribbean, close to Dominican Republic, very, very close. So you'll see the big Dominican Republic with Haiti, and then you'll see us. And most importantly, we speak Spanish, but we also speak English. Just like in other countries, we are in a Commonwealth situation. So it means that we have a very, very narrow relationship with the United States. So let's talk about why you should publish your story or publish your book. Becoming a published author can have a profound impact on your business or career. This has been proven time and time again by well-known authors, but a lot of them are not as well-known as you think. But once it says that they're a published author, everything changes. First of all, you can find out what they do and who they are. You can actually buy a book and read a little bit more and decide upon yourself if this is the professional that you want working with you or the person that you're going to be listening to. It also establishes you as an expert and opens doors to new opportunities. When you establish expertise, and I think this is the number one reason why people write books today. When people used to write books before, it was probably to talk about somebody that they admired, a biography, or they wanted to talk about themselves, an autobiography, or they were into fiction, or they wanted to really specialize in one topic, English literature, in the medieval times, something very specific. But today, people write books to establish expertise. Writing a book positions you as a thought leader in your field. And that is what we all want, right? We want to have that credibility that we know what we're doing. It boosts also your credibility and recognition amongst your peers, not only the people that are looking up to you or the people that want to work with you, but it also brings that recognition amongst your peers and your target audience. It's also a marketing tool. So believe it or not, your book is not going to stay on a shelf if you know how to use it properly. When you join us in our masterclass for authority in books or publishing, you will learn what the marketing tools are. Today, I'm just going to tell you why it's so important for you as a professional, for you as an entrepreneur, to publish your book. A book is going to serve you as a powerful tool for your business because you will have something to back you up. Somebody will see you speaking. Somebody will meet you. They were probably impressed with what you said. They'll immediately go and see if there's any publication or there's any book with your name on it. And if it is, you're not only helping yourself, but you're actually helping the person that's looking for that information. It also attracts new clients or customers by showcasing your knowledge and your expertise. So it's a marketing tool because you don't really need to go and say, hey, hi, I'm Virginia Rivera. No, you can actually go and promote your book. It's Virginia's Rivera because you are the author of the book. So it's a great marketing tool for whatever you're going to do. May that be just a book, or may that be that you're selling water treatment or solar panel, or that you want to create a new cosmetic line. whatever it is that you are talking about, whatever it is where you are an expert, you will be able to use your book as an incredible marketing. It's also a differentiator. I think we've talked about in the last 2 days about what is your unique value or unique selling proposition. So what is your unique value? What do you bring to the table as Virginia Rivera writing a book? We talked about when you're an entrepreneur, you may have 60 donut shops, but what makes yours so different? Is it that you only deliver at night when everybody else is closed? Is it that you only use organic products? I don't know. What is it that you've decided that is going to differentiate you from the rest? We also spoke yesterday about branding. So when we're talking about branding, remember, brand and branding are not the same thing. Branding is a strategy we use to communicate our brand in different areas. So to differentiate yourself as a brand, what will you do? Right? What would you do in this case? You could definitely use your book and bring you all these new people that are going to have access to the way you think, to the way you work. And most importantly, they're going to become followers, not just on social media, but they're going to follow your word by word. They like how you explain things. They can see that you know what you're talking about. So I would say a book sets you apart from your competitors. If all your competitors have books, then have a book and a magazine. And if all your competitors have a book and a magazine, make sure you have a digital. They're both digital. Like you have access to them on your phone and your mobile device. Also, it highlights your unique approach or methodology, making you stand out. Yesterday, we had an incredible young teacher that had a hip hop methodology to do math, to teach. So who would have thought when she has her book out, thousands of teachers will be able to buy her book and read and go step by step following her pages. So her methodology becomes their methodology. So this is very, very important. When we write a book, and your book can be a book of 60 pages or it can have 300 pages. Your book can be a hardcover or it can be a paperback. Your book can live just digital. You don't even have to print it. But the important thing is that you. It also expands your network. And what this means is that writing a book is going to help you build valuable connections that you probably did not know before. Once you become an expert, and that is what the book is going to help you do. Once you attain the credibility that you want, what happens is beautiful. People will start to look. People will start to want to have you speak in engagements. They may even want you to do workshops and seminars. Why? Because you're an expert in your field, because you have a published book. Many times you'll say, well, Virginia, I don't really want to do an entire book. Then publish an article. Look for a magazine that will publish your article and send people to the magazine. Say, look, I was published today, and people will find it. They will photocopy it. They will save it. They will screen it, and they will put in their favorites on their computer. So publishing is really, really key. Making sure that you are out there, that what you think is not only important to you and to them, but that it stays forever in our space. Once it's written, it is written. They say that in order to live a full life, you have a child, plant a tree, and you write a book. So here we're talking today about the opportunities out there for all of you that I'm sure have something to say, a story to tell, a lesson to teach. Don't count yourself out. We all want to hear about you. We all want to know what you're about and what you've come up with and what you believe in. So this is for everybody. So writing a book also connects you with other authors. That's a different network completely from maybe the one that you're in education, or maybe the one you're in when it comes to marketing and branding, or maybe the one that you're in sales. It's just another one with other publishers and industry professionals. And let me tell you, these connections drive you to great things. I always say that your net worth is more important than your net worth. What does this mean? It means that you can have money in the bank today and your account can be hacked because We know that cybersecurity is not at its all-time best. Not only can it be hacked, but you can spend it. Somebody can spend it and you don't even know where it's at. But never, ever, ever will somebody be able to steal your contacts, because once they're yours, they're yours. So when your networking is expanding, thanks to your book, you're bringing in other industry professionals, other authors, other people that in the future are going to help you create other other ventures, entrepreneurial ventures, other books. So the truth is that getting published and having book, really creating book authority is so instrumental to how you're going to direct your career or your business venture in the future. It's also a skill enhancer. The writing process enhances your skills and knowledge. If you're sitting down at a computer, pounding out your thoughts, and let me tell you something, you may want to use ChatGPT or any other AI application to help you write. I want you to understand that when people follow you like a brand, they're following your voice. So you need to make sure that if you're using some type of help from an AI app, you are going after that, after it's created, reading it and putting it in your own voice. This is so instrumental in the success of your book. Because if your book goes straight out of ChatGPT or any other app that you're using that has artificial intelligence creating the content, you're going to sound like everybody else. And part of your brand is not going to be developed. So it is key for us that you understand how important it is that you find your voice, that you write a lot of your information, and that you don't only retrieve it from AI because you're using their voice. And let me tell you, they're robots. They use big words that you normally don't use. They use a syntaxis that may work in British English, but may not work in Indian English. It doesn't make sense. So you need to make sure that anything that you produce with ChatGPT, you're actually going over it, reviewing it, using your voice, using your word. I don't think I can tell you this enough. Of course, you can do an entire book with ChatGPT. Of course, you can sell it. You can sell it for $2.99, 99 cents. But let me tell you, people will buy it once. But if it sounds like it's canned, they will not buy anything from you again. So let's do things right. And let's make sure that we put in the research, that we realize what the organization is in that book. We control it. Even if we have somebody's going to help us, like a ghostwriter. Before we used to have ghostwriters, remember? So ghostwriters is what ChatGPT could do now. So you're not going to pay your ghostwriter, but you still need to make sure that your voice is employed. So when you talk to a ghostwriter, the ghostwriter will ask you a bunch of questions. They're actually going to ask you to write some type of sample, something, so they know how you express it. This is what you need to make sure that your book is. It has to come from you. And if there's certain words that you use, you need to use them in your book so people can see you there. They can recognize you and they can recognize your voice. Like I said, it requires research, organization, and discipline. To finish a book, to finish it, because you can start it, but to actually finish it requires a lot of information. So definitely, I want you to know that you can write a book, you can use a ghostwriter, you can use ChatGPT, but your voice has to be there. And when you start writing, you start getting better. You become more efficient at writing. Our founder, Piyush Pandit, writes beautifully. I have to say that it's a delight to read his communication. And we talked about branding and communication styles because it's clear and it's succinct, right? When we have favorite authors, there's something that we like about them. Maybe it's a musicality in their words. Maybe they like to rhyme a little. Maybe they love to use very simple slang type words. And that's what you like. It resonates with you. So make sure that you know who your target audience is and recognize that they want to listen to you. They want to see you in those pages. They don't want to see anybody else. Let me see here. Excuse me, I was waiting for somebody to join us. So here we continue. Personal branding. So writing a book is very important because it helps with your personal brand. And even if you have not thought about doing anything with personal branding, somebody wrote yesterday, I'm a professional, why should I work on my personal branding? Well, I'm going to explain this again like I did yesterday. We are as unique as our fingers. If the universe or the creator wanted us to be all the same, we would all have the same thing. But we don't, because we all bring something unique to the table, to the world. We all have a different contribution. So when you work on your personal branding, you're recognizing that just like a company that has a mission and a vision and values, you also have a mission and vision and values and purpose for yourself. I want to inform you that people want to know who's the face behind the brand. Maybe before you would buy a particular brand and you were okay with it. You didn't even know who the person was. But now, thanks to social media, we want to know who created, who invented, who leads, who's the director. We want to know who's the face behind powerful brands. So you need to start working on your personal branding. And when you have a book, this is half of the job already made. You are published. You have a marketing tool that you can go out there and sell, which is your book. You can use it as a backup. It's going to help you get better at what you do. But being a published author will boost your personal reputation. It's not only going to be, oh no, I know Virginia, she's great. She talks about, business and entrepreneurship and coaching and marketing and branding and female. No. When Virginia publishes, you can say, yes, I know Virginia. I read her book. People talk about my publication. And people wanted to know who was the face behind the publication. And I had an event and I invited 60 people and we had almost 200 people come. They knew when they found out that I was the face behind the brand. I had worked on my personal branding. So when I launched my publication, they wanted to be there with me. It also adds prestige and authority to your name, setting you apart in your field. So I'm a media proprietor. So that means that I own different pieces of media. I have ebooks and I have magazines. I print magazines. I have digital magazines. I only print magazines because I think that people really love to read month after month new articles. I love to publish new authors. So I publish articles for people. So I have in every magazine maybe 10 stories of different authors that for the first time are going out there and venturing and participating in a publication to see their name and what they're thinking. And they become thought leaders. So that is why personal branding is so important. So are you ready to publish? Book authorship is valuable asset for your business, but it's also for your career. So if you're a professional that wants to get promoted, you're a professional that wants to grow in the career ladder, today it's not the same thing as your parents. It's not the same as it was 20 years ago. Today you're competing with a bunch of people that show their expertise. Not only on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, no. They have their expertise on Amazon. They're able to really share what they think, what they've come up with, what they've discovered. And if you're in the same line as them, they have a leg above you because I can read about it. Consider writing a book to establish expertise, attract clients, expand your network, enhance skills, and elevate your personal brand. These are the things that book authorship does for you, or publishing, a book publishing, or, let's start small. Participate in a book compilation. There are a lot of companies now, editorial companies that will have a book and they will use 50 authors, 25 authors, 10 authors, and that is the one book. It's good because you're not alone. It's good because usually the publication fee is very inexpensive compared to actually creating and publishing your own book if you're doing auto-publishing. If an editorial house is publishing your book, or you have a literary agent remember, they will get commission and they will charge you, right? But if you're doing it on your own, then it really helps you to really start honing these skills on book authorship. I can't stress enough how getting professionals involved in your book publishing is important. They will guide you and direct. If you can't afford them, then this is your time to really research, really get organized and be disciplined, and really create a product that is quality. And when people read it and they close their eyes, they see you, they hear you. They will find that what they've learned about you before, they see it in the book. There's no point in you having a great persona digitally in social media, and when your book publication is out there, it sounds like somebody else. So let's make sure that we're doing it for the right reasons. And the number one thing, you have to take a risk and you have to start. I can't stress it enough. So this is my own publication. I have a magazine. It's in Spanish. Very soon it's going to be in English. It's called Solopreneur. Solopreneur is this magazine is dedicated to female entrepreneurs, but let me tell you, it's a business journal. So it has a lot of business and entrepreneurial information. So men and women read it all the time. And they've asked me, stop calling it for women. But the truth is that I am calling out to women because obviously my entire mission in life is to help women attain economic empowerment. So this is a tool that I use every month to really reach that goal. So when you read my editorial letter and you read the articles that we write, you will find my voice. But when I publish articles for other authors and other professionals, you find their voice. And let me tell you, I have told somebody before, it doesn't sound like you need to rewrite this. Because I want you to have so much success when you're public. So this is very important. So that's me. This was on the launch of our magazine. And I was so excited. It has 120 pages. We have around 12 and 15 articles. And it comes out every month and you can find it digitally. So now I want to talk to you about some opportunities that we are bringing to you that are so exciting. And I want to see if Ermina is available. So if you give me 2 seconds to check and see if she's going to be able to come in. Well, it seems that she's busy today. I mean, I am right now for us, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. And for other countries like India, it's a different time. It's dinner time. It's academics tutoring time. So let me tell you today about 3 incredible opportunities that you have in order to be published, and you don't have to do it by yourself. So we're going to have, and we're so excited for all the global leaders, educators, and success seekers. Swarna Bharat Parivar Global is unveiling a trio of, so that's 3 books of impactful books in one single day. Join us in commemorating achievements by nominating yourself for inclusion in these books. The first book is Leaders in Change. It's authored by yours truly and my great team. And Leaders in Change talks about people that are actually leading in all areas of life, but they're creating the change. That's why it's not called Leaders of Change. They're leaders in the change. They're the change makers. So if you are a change maker and you want to be in this book, you need to contact us immediately because we need your submission by October 1st. We also have, let me show you here. So Leaders in Change, celebrating human diversity to create a history that focuses on covering inspiring biographies or autobiographies, right? If you're writing your own, of influential figures. And we have a list of people here that are going to be with you in this book. So if you've always thought of yourself as a leader, or people tell you, my God, your leadership skills, because you're in the change, you're actually creating change. We want to know who you are, and we want you in our book. We also have a great self-discovery journal And it's going to help you really work on yourself. And this is Who Am I? And let me tell you of the first 3 chapters of Who Am I? So you know what this book is about. Who am I? Am I different? And how many times have we felt completely alone because we think that nobody understands us? We think that nobody really enjoys who we are, our uniqueness. But you know what? This is the problem. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know what you bring to the table, if you don't know what makes you unique, it's really hard to ask other people to do it. So this journey of self-discovery is key. And we want you to participate. So if you had a life experience where you were able to discover who you were and you embrace being different because it brought change to your life, we want to hear from you. Yes, we do. Also, am I really happy? I think that a lot of people don't know if they're happy or not. This is a world of stage and mask. You know, on social media, we see so many people and we think they have the best life ever. Let me tell you something. 90% of what you see on social media is a lie. It's perception. And remember, perception is reality. So somebody's telling you that they're a millionaire and you're not checking their bank account, and they're showing you expensive cars, expensive trips, and all this stuff. We don't really know if this is really them or not. This is what they're telling us. This is their story. But I think that eventually people find out if everything that you're saying is made up. People will find out if you're an impersonator, an imposter. So I would say this is a great time to uncover your true nature and really realize what makes you happy. I think that we go through life making other people happy. We go through life being robots, just taking care of, watching over, caring about what other people think, and we forget about the most important person, the one we see in the mirror. That is who needs acceptance. That's the one who needs validation. And you know from who? From you. So if you've gone through a journey and really getting to know how happy you are and finding your happiness and you want to share it with us, we want you in this book. We need your story here because people are going to read, they're going to be inspired, and they're going to want to find their own truth. They want to be genuine. They're going to want to be authentic, just like you. Also, I think one of the most difficult things that happens to us as humans is when we lose something. The moments when you lose yourself, the moment when you lose a loved one, a moment when you lose something that's very dear to you. It's really hard to explain how we get over that. I think that the moment that we become mortal is the day that the person that we love is no longer with us physically. We start to really appreciate what life is. So when we lose somebody that we love, or we lose ourselves, we lose a love. You know, somebody's no longer with me because they decided that they were not happy in this anymore, or I'm not happy in this anymore. It's still a loss, and we still go through a grieving period, and we still have to recover from that. Many times we live in denial and we don't want to accept. So I love this chapter because it reflects on the profound impact of the loss and how it has shaped your perspective on life going forward. If you have a story of loss and really being able to recover the new you with all the lessons learned, we want to listen. We want to know who you are. We want to really be able to read about that story. We want you to inspire. But most importantly, I think that we just want to know that we're not alone in this. I think that this Who Am I just shows me that everything that I feel that I think it's only happening to me isn't. It's human nature. When we come to the world, we come to perfect who we are as spiritual beings, right? That's Virginia thinking, right? So we come here and it's not supposed to be all easy and pink and beautiful, but you are supposed to be happy in it. You're supposed to find your happiness. And finding happiness may be a lifelong thing. But you know what? I think that once we learn to who we are, we learn to be happy with the smallest. We learn to be happy with the simplest. We realize that the expensive house, a big car, a big degree from a humongous university of thousands of dollars is really not what makes me happy. And it definitely is not what makes me me. It influences who I am. It influences my perspectives on a lot of things, but I really need to discover who I am. So this journey of self-discovery is beautiful and you can participate in it. And it's called Who Am I? And I think the last one, and I am so excited for this one because we know so many amazing teachers that are creating the change, that are immersed in the change, that are the change makers. They're also the rain makers. So if you know a teacher, let them know that there's a book that wants their lessons in life. We want to publish their lesson. So we're looking for 100 lessons from 100 stories, 100 teachers. We're celebrating the profession that creates all profession, that focuses on covering inspiring biographies or autobiographies of important lessons that teachers have around the world. I think that if you had a teacher in your life, I did. My teacher was named Mrs. Tejo. She passed away and she marked me for life. I remember everybody saw talents in me and everybody thought that I should study something. But I had a talent that was innate and there was a passion. And it didn't make a lot of money, so it wasn't a popular decision. But my teacher told me, she said, if you bring it and you study this, you're going to be the best at it because it's an innate talent. You're going to hone that skill. You're going to get better. She was right. So she really impacted my life and said, don't listen to the people that live outside of you because they're not the ones who are going to have to live your life. So teachers impact our life. They're the unsung heroes. We want to make sure that we can have 100 teachers with their 100 lessons that are from around the globe. I think this is really inspiring. And I think that, let me go back to this really great opportunity to publish. Go to our page on University, International Internship University, and you will find the registration links for all 3 books. You may find them in separate posts. So you'll find a post for Leaders in Change. You will find a post in Who Am I? And you will find a post in Teachers in Change. There's a registration link. So you're going to press that link and you are going to fill it out. We have a nomination committee that will look at your tiny little 3 to 4 storyline. So we know if we don't have a repetition. So I would say hurry and register so we can read about you very, very soon. There's a small nominal publication fee, but let me tell you, compared to thousands of dollars to publish a book, this is nothing. It's nothing. It's peanuts. So please, I think we've talked about the importance of book authorship today and how it impacts your career, it impacts your business, and most importantly, it could definitely impact your reputation going forward and growing. I am presenting to you 3 opportunities to be part of a book. Leaders in Change, if you're a leader and you're creating change, and you know somebody, please nominate yourself and nominate somebody. Teachers in Change is about that special person, that teacher that has changed your life or that you know is changing your children's life or somebody's life. We want to hear from them. We want their lessons in the world. And Who Am I? This is a journey, an incredible journey that I think everybody should take. If you don't know what makes you happy, if you don't know who you really are, if you don't really know how to really move forward when you lose someone or something, how that shapes you, how everything shapes you and makes you the person that you are today, I invite you to be part of this incredible journey. It's more like a journal. You will write and you will analyze and you will think, who am I? We want to know. So please, we are so excited to offer these opportunities to you. All book submissions are by October 1st. So registration links will be available in International Internship and University Facebook page. Our spots are limited, so your participation is welcome, but ASAP, we need you there very fast. I also want to finish with telling you that in the next few weeks, you will find a link, a registration for our Entrepreneur Training Bootcamp. So this was a pre-boot camp. We wanted to explain what a boot camp is. We wanted to talk about the main topics that we will be discussing to really create everything that you need in order to launch your business, perfect your business. This was a free taste of what you can get. In our Entrepreneurs Boot Training and Boot Camp, you will get a certificate for the 3 days that you're going to be with us. It's not a half an hour or an hour. It's a commitment of 2 hours, but you will learn everything. We will help you, number one, create your business plan. Number two, create a sales and marketing plan. Number three, you will work on your brand. You will design more or less what you would like for you to have as a logo. We are also going to work on your branding strategy. You will also work on really starting to bring your story forward, creating your storytelling so you can use social media to your advantage and eventually to publish your book. So I can't stress enough how important it is that you participate in our entrepreneurial boot camp, because it's not only for people that want a business, it's for anybody who wants to get. It's for anybody who really wants to perfect who they are. And let me tell you, we sell ourselves every day. The biggest service and the biggest product that we sell is ourselves. If we want to grow, we want to be promoted, and we want to get ahead, this is your moment. So I hope to see you in the near future in our boot camp. It's going to be me, and I'm going to be inviting other fabulous trainers that you already know that are in the field of entrepreneurship. So it's just not going to be Dr. Virginia Rivera. We're going to have wonderful other guests that are also entrepreneurs, and this is their field. So please join us. You'll be seeing our registration form very soon and our IIU pages. But most importantly, don't miss out on the book publishing. I want to read. So have a great day today. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will definitely see you here in IIU. We see you every day. Every day there's a quality session on any type of education. I always say that really explore our YouTube channel. If you explore our YouTube channel, you will be able to find any topic with the most amazing educators, because they're doing it today. They're experts in their fields. It's updated information. It's not outdated information. And I just want to thank Mr. Piyush Pandit for creating such an amazing platform that allows me to reach you and for you to really hone on the skills that you need to live the life that you want in this century, because you deserve a life you want, not somebody else's expectations, your own life. So I'll see you next week. Take care, and thank you for being with us here again, because you are part of who we are, and IIU is the revolution. Bye-bye.